Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training, where we want to train you to tackle projects like this one on your own. Today's project is training. I am doing a video series all about overhead fire door and fire door release control devices. So that's what the videos are going to be about. It's going to basically be two videos. One video is going to be on me installing a Liftmaster LM21XP, which is what this video is for, and another video on how you do your fire door testing in the same device, testing that exact same device. So if you are wanting to learn about fire doors, then this is the video or video series for you. So stay tuned. Okay, here we go. We're installing a Liftmaster LM21XP overhead fire door release control device. You can pause the video if you want, but here is what the device does. By the way, I want to mention, I'm going to try to give you guys the best video content in the shortest time frame possible. I only ask for you to do one thing for me. Smash that like button down for me. Well, I'll ask you to do another thing. And leave a comment about your fire doors and your fire door experiences. And hopefully you got something out of this training. Okay. Now, with that, let's move on. You can pause this video, but if you want, this is what the device does right here. But basically, it's going to drop the door. It's a fail-safe device to prevent a fire. How often is the testing required? Annually. What is the rolling fire door? This is a overhead rolling fire door. It also works with a door that they call the sliding doors, which I'm not really familiar with. So rolling or sliding fire doors. Okay. Here on slide 2, this is what the Liftmaster LM21XP looks like, and this is 2026, and I just installed several of these for $521.99 each. That's for the part only, then plus the installation, which is no small. It's not a 5-minute job, folks. You want to put one of these in, it takes a few minutes. That's what this video is going to be about, though. This video is going to be broken down into two parts. This is the classroom part, just to give you a little bit about what the project is about. And then after this classroom presentation is going to be the video with me in the field actually installing the device. So I kind of walk you through it. Here is a picture of the fire door that I was working on. This is the device that I removed, which is called a Firefly. And the wiring is different. The wiring to this Firefly is 120 coming in. I had to change that for the Liftmaster because the Liftmaster wants 24 volts DC. Okay. And then this chain, which is on the existing mechanism, is very important because you have to have the chain as your releasing device and how that chain works, because it has to be unobstructed and work reliably every single time you need to drop the door. Now, this here is a picture that Liftmaster put in their installation manual. This would be like a Cadillac system. My system doesn't have all these bells and whistles. What I do have is I have a releasing device, one fusible link, I have a chain going to the drop mechanism, and that's it. Now, in this system, they have all that, but they also go through the firewall and they put a fusible link on each side of the firewall. So this way, if the releasing mechanism was to fail, you would have the additional insurance of if there's a fire, the fusible link would melt, dropping the chain, dropping the door. So if you have this system without the releasing device, by the way, you are being code compliant. You cannot omit the fusible link assembly and still be in code compliance when using the LM21XP. But yes, using only a fusible link or links as the automatic closing device is fully compliant with NFPA 80 and the California Fire Code for rolling steel fire doors. So if you have the Liftmaster LM21XP, you need at least one fusible link. But if you have this system with links on both sides, you don't even need the the releasing device. which would be way, way easier because these devices are a pain in the butt. You lose electricity, you drop the door. And when you go to reset them, and if you have several doors like I do, 9 doors in one facility, it takes a lot of time to reset each one of your doors. It takes some time to get your ladder out, to get up there and do it, and it's easier with 2 people. It's a time-consuming inconvenience when you got to go and reset fire doors because you lost electricity to your releasing device. So I would recommend doing away with the releasing device, having the fusible links on both sides of the walls, and just going with that system and saving your $500-600 on the releasing device mechanism. There are 3 main parts to a fire door drop controller. Part number 1, how the controller interfaces with the fire system. We'll go through that in detail. Number 2, how the chain is going to be set. You got to know where you're installing your release mechanism because you have to make sure you have good communication on your chain. Number 3, after the chain releases, the door needs to drop to a closed seated position and take between 6 and 24 seconds to close. 10 seconds is great if you can get that. Okay, now here is the Liftmaster wiring diagram. They give you a couple of different options, okay? Now, I know it's a little tight to read here, but it is, let's see if I can do this properly. Oops, hold on. So on terminals 1 and 2, that is where you're going to have your incoming 24-volt power. Terminals 3 and 4 is going to allow you to do this mechanism, and I blew that up right here. So if you have, as an example, a 2-wire detector, 1 detector on each side of the fire door, and your system is like this, then what you can do is you can wire in your system with these 2 wires coming down to the 2 wires on your 2 detectors. And if your detector already has an end-of-line resistor like this one shown in the schematic, then you're good to go. Then that would be on terminals 3 and 4. 5 and 6, which is this right here, you would just put a jumper in there if you're going to use this system. In my case, I did not use this system. I ended up taking terminals 3 and 4. I put a 10,000 ohm resistor on terminals 3 and 4. And then on 5 and 6, I went to a fire relay, which I'll show you in this demonstration right now. And that is how I connected my Liftmaster LM21XP to my fire system. So here is my system. So here you can see terminals 1 and 2, 24 volts DC for your incoming power. 3 and 4 is if you were going to use that 2 detector system that I just showed you in the previous slide, but which I did not use. What I have on 3 and 4 is just a 10,000 ohm resistor. Now, 5 and 6, this is where you come up and you need to go to a normally closed device. Polarity does not matter. This is the fire relay that I have in my system. It's an SIGA-CR. And over here on terminals 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is where the detectors are communicating with the fire relay. But I don't care about that. This is on terminal board 1. On terminal board 2 of this relay, I care about terminals 6, 7, and 8. 7 is the common, 8 is a normally open, and 6 is a normally closed. Well, guess what? I need the system to be normally closed, so you connect the common to the common, which is 7. So in this case, it would be pin 6. You can go to pin number 7 here on the common, and on the normally closed area, pin 5 can go to pin 6 over here under normally closed. Now the next slide down, this is what my actual relays look like. I'm only concerned about this relay. These 2 wires, the pink one and the white one, those were the wires that we hooked up to my system on my fire door to communicate with the Liftmaster LM21XP under the normally closed contacts. Now let me get you the next slide down. Now this is the device that we removed. This device here is over 20 years old. It's a Firefly, and guess what? It has 120 volts coming up here. That's a 2-wire 120, one hot, one neutral. They were used, and that's basically it. So it doesn't have the low voltage contact. So this wiring system was wired differently. It had an ice cube relay to get that 120 to open and close via the fire system. I rewired it so that we didn't need any of that stuff. On this Firefly, when you want to test it, all you do is just push this button, this test button in here. It immediately drops the 120 volt to the solenoid valve inside, and it will immediately release your chain, and it will drop your door immediately with no warning. The Liftmaster gives you a warning when you have electricity present and you're going to push to test, which I will show you in the testing video. This is the installation video. Okay, so that's enough of the classroom presentation. Now we're going to jump into the video of me doing the actual installation. All right, so what's happened is we removed the 120 volts going to the old Firefly. We are now going to remove the Firefly from the wall, and we're going to start the process of installing the new Liftmaster. All right, so what's happening is that the old Firefly was located here. We want the new Liftmaster to be installed approximately where my finger is right there. This conduit, which is a 460 volt 3-phase, is feeding this motor controller for the overhead door. We need to pull that out of its box, which is up here in the ceiling, and we have to bring it and mount it to one of those knockouts that you see underneath. All right, we were able to take this conduit that's feeding the power to this box and move it from where we installed the Liftmaster to over to here to that junction box. You can see underneath how we were able to get that installed, so we were able to come underneath and do it that way. That gave us the room to put the Liftmaster right there. Okay, we have installed the Liftmaster LM21XP onto the wall, fully mounted with all 4 brackets into this concrete block wall. We did install one eye bolt here to communicate with the door drop mechanism, which is right here. We've already tested it a few times. If we push the manual release lever, which is right here, if we push that, you're going to see, boom, the door is going to drop. The door is going to drop here, and we're going to drop here on the controller. So I'm just going to demonstrate this several times to show you guys how all of this works. And right now, the door is still in the down position, but we're going to do the full test when the door is in the up position. But before we get to that, we're going to demonstrate to you what we've done so far. So with the Liftmaster LM21XP, you can see that the LED is on here on the side. We have power coming into the box. Now let me show you how we established that particular power. So over here on this purple and white wire right there, we established our 120 volts coming into the box. Okay, so there's the transformer right there that we have installed, and that is a 120 to 24 volt DC transformer. So there's how all your lines are connected on this transformer. Now, what we have is on the low voltage side of the transformer, which is right over here with the red and black wires, we have them landed for the 24 volt DC. The red is the positive for the 24 volts. The black is the negative. So that's how you're going to get your 24 volts on terminals 1 and 2. And let me explain what I mean by terminals 1 and 2. Okay, when you look at the terminal board of the Liftmaster, you can see the numbering right there. So starting from the right hand side with the red wire, that's terminal 1, terminal 2, and then we have a resistor on terminals 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6 you'll see a white and pink wire. Now that white and pink wire is going over, and we are going up into this conduit right here where my finger is at right there, and we are connected to the normally closed contacts on the fire relay, which is way over there. So there's a fire relay, the one on the right, there's 2 relays there. The one on the right is the one where there's a couple of normally closed contacts, and that is how we are giving the signal from the fire alarm system to tell the Liftmaster to drop the door. So right now, these 2 wires here, which are white and pink where my finger is touching, those are normally closed. If I was to lift one of those wires, that would be simulating the fire system going into an alarm condition to tell the door to drop. So that will drop the door. If I remove the resistor here, it won't drop the door, but the Liftmaster will beep telling you that there's a wiring problem. If you remove the power and the 24 volts goes away, the door will drop immediately, and your LED that's right here on the side will no longer function because you removed the power. There are 2 buttons over here. One is to reset and one is to test. So let me reset the controller.